Hello, everybody. Welcome. Prepare for the stream for today where I'm doing intergalactic fishing. Everything is done up visually with pixels. It's just pixel art game. And so we go fishing on a pixelated world. We catch pixelated fish. We can also make our own little bait bobbers. I haven't tried doing that. When I did a little testing, making sure everything works nicely for the stream. Didn't get to that part, so we're going to make the little baits together. You and me, chat. It's us. We're going to be the master fishermen as a team. So I hope you're ready. That's right. Social interaction and teamwork together. An intense experience. But here we go. New game. Not going to use that one because that was just for setting up testing. So now I've got to create my angler. Angler portrait will be generated from a random seed based upon your information. Click the portrait to randomly generate a new one without changing your information. And really, I guess all there is for information is name and the gender there. I wonder how many characters this thing fits. A lot. Okay, can I fit all of this? Well, shit. I can't fit Cacophony. But that fits, so we'll just be normal, distant. This reads more like Carphony rather than Carpony? Maybe if I put in a second P. So it's a PP. Nope, Carpphone. Carpphon? Carpphony. There we go. We'll go with that option. Hopefully, having hyphens doesn't break anything. Phony car. That's basically any sort of pairing you do with my name. You break out the phony part and you're like, haha, look, phony now. Alright, and then see? All of the different portrait options that you can randomize through. Alright, ready? We're gonna start from here. I'm gonna randomize 5 times, and whatever portrait it comes with, that's what Cacarp is gonna be. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that cough came out of nowhere. But there we go. I've got some glasses on. I've got a nice little smile. So let's get in. I'm ready to go fishing. Beautiful fisherwoman, thank you. I've carefully styled my hair to be perfect for fishing in this boat. Here we go. You are DistantCacophony, an angler living near Ankobo Lake. A few years ago, Ankobo Lake was added to the Universal Lake Teleportation Network, a network of a few dozen lakes from all over the universe, which contain some of the best fishing spots available. Anglers with a Universal Lake Teleporter could instantly teleport to any of these lakes to experience the best fishing in the known universe. Ankobo Lake quickly became one of the premier fishing spots in the universe, and nearby businesses were booming. That's some advanced tech. We gotta have it, that way we can have these intergalactic fishing experiences. Otherwise, it wouldn't be intergalactic. We'd just be trapped on whatever planet we're on. However, recently, I also hope that it's not being picked up. There's somebody doing some very cool vacuuming upstairs, so I hope that's not being a nice noise in the background. However, recently the fish population in the lake has been steadily declining as many fish have been dying and nobody is quite sure why. Because of this, the towns and businesses near the lake are in decline. I can't hear the vaccine. Thank goodness. Because there's not any vaccines around over here. And if you were hearing a vaccine, I would be very concerned. The mayor of Ankobo has formed a committee to explore ways to save Ankobo Lake. They've decided to purchase a universal lake teleporter and have recruited you, Ankobo's best angler, to travel around to other lakes in the universe and try to figure out a way to save Ankobo Lake. Am I the only angler at this lake? Because I have never gone fishing before as Cacophony. So how the fuck am I the best? So, unless again, I guess there's nobody else here at the lake, that also then makes me the worst. Are you supposed to be the best angler? What about Martha? Martha? You know, I don't think I've talked to her in a while. Maybe she's like moved out of the lake. Oh my god. I loved Martha though. I miss her. I didn't even know, and now I miss her, I suppose. And thank you for following 321 Bois. Appreciated. So, you must begin your journey by passing the Universal Lake Teleporter License Test. And hello there, Twitchy, and welcome to the stream. You're here just as we're about to learn how to do all these fishing things. Congratulations on your new ult-enabled boat, or Universal Lake Teleporter-enabled buoyant object for above water travel boat. I love fishing. Me too. You just woke up from an 11-hour sleep? Whoa, that's a long time. That's a lot of acronyms. That's a lot of backronyms. Thanks, but what are we doing here? When you say backronyms, it's kind of like you came up with the acronym first, and then you kind of attached words to each of the letters. That's what it sounds more like. Oh, wow, that's a lot of backronyms. Before you were allowed to use your Universal Lake Teleporter, usually just called ULT for short, as I just said, you must pass a license test. I will ride along with you in the boat and ask you to perform certain tasks. Are you ready for your ULT license test? I guess if it's required. Okay. As you know, the Universal Lake Teleporter is a very powerful system that allows you and your boat to travel via teleportation to lakes all over the universe. This network of lakes, which is called the Universal Lake Teleportation Network, or ULT Network, just abbreviate it, please, you keep saying the entire thing, is owned and administered by the Universal Lake Teleportation Corporation, or ULT Corp. We at ULT Corp require license testing before an individual is allowed to operate an ULT-enabled boat. Right, I see. This exam will test your ability to operate all functions of the boat as well as your fishing ability. Okay, well, I guess I'm ready to take it then. Okay. The first task you will need to do is move your boat. The boat has several underwater propulsion jets that allow it to move in any direction across the surface of the water. Use the boat movement keys, default WASD or arrow keys, to move your boat to the designated circular area just to the northwest. Or if you would prefer, you can hold the right mouse button and guide the boat with your cursor. Okay, move the boat. Got it. Ready? Oh my god, look at that. High action, I have moved the boat. We have completed essentially the first mission. I am basically a master at boating now. Wow. Great. Now it is time to use the Universal Lake Teleporter to teleport to a new lake. The Ult uses proprietary technology developed by Ult Corp to quickly teleport you and your boat to a lake in the Ult network. We will start by visiting Ult Corp Lake, a lake maintained by Ult Corp for use in Ult license tests. To travel to Ult Corp Lake, open your travel panel from the top bar and select Ult Corp Lake, then click Teleport to Ult Corp Lake. That was a lot of Ult Corps. Okay, here we go. Ult license test objective. Open the travel panel from the top bar and select the lake. We want the travel panel. Look, there it is. Travel. Ult Corp Lake. I teleport. Ta-da, I've done it. Here we are on the Ult Corp Lake. It's beautiful, isn't it? Many anglers and other people use the Ult network to travel to different lakes in the universe, so you will sometimes run across other boats out here, like this freak. The next thing I want you to do is maneuver your boat over to that other boat and talk to the person in it. To do this, move near them and press T, or you can click on the Talk Interact button, which pops up when you get near them. Well, okay, I guess I'll go see what they're up to. Even though I just kind of insulted them behind their back, calling them a freak, we're gonna go up and talk anyway. And their boat becomes like a little ellipses. Hello. What if you just want to fish in peace on their side or on my side? Because I'm going to harass them anyway, and if I wanted to just fish in peace, I could do so, I guess. This angler is fishing from their boat. Have you caught anything? Nothing yet? Wow. Pathetic. They haven't caught anything. They look pissed, probably because they're failing at being a fisherman. They haven't caught any fish. I'd be pretty pissed too. Especially if I got harassed and being asked, "Hey, have you caught any fish yet?" And then you can't be like, "Oh yeah, I've caught some fish. Check out this guy right here." Can't do that. Just be like, "No, I haven't caught any." And then you get angry because you're kind of embarrassed at the same time. Alright, now for some fishing. I want you to cast your lure out and wind it in. To cast your lure out, left click at the location you wish to cast. Then, to wind it back in, hold the left mouse button until it reaches your boat and it will be brought in. You can determine the state of your lure by paying attention to the resistance meter and the text at the end of the line. You can also adjust the speed at which you wind in with the Q and E keys, or by left-clicking or right-clicking the winding speed indicator on the top bar. You can also use your mouse scroll wheel to adjust it too, even though I'm not telling you at this moment. Cast out a lure and wind it in? It sounds easy enough, I guess. There we go. I've casted it out. Up here you can see the winding speed, maybe, unless you're on mobile, in which case this is probably absolutely tiny. Okay, the next step is to catch a fish and put it in your live well. Watch your resistance meter at the end of your line, and when you feel a bite, be sure to set the hook with the right mouse button, and then wind the fish in. Once you land the fish, it will show up in the landed fish slot above your live well. Click on the fish to store it in the first available slot in your live well, or click any empty live well slot to store it there. Alright, I guess I'll try to catch a fish then. We're gonna reduce my winding speed back down to just the 3rd level. We're gonna get away from this loser, and then we'll cast out our line to catch a fish. There it is sinking. You can see how it kind of has that little red popping out. That means I've got a fish. So then I right click, hook it, wind it in, and then it slowly rises up to my boat, and I seem to have failed in catching it. Probably hooked it too late, I imagine. Alright, there we go. Now I got it. I got the Ult Corp species A53F. Imagine being a fish, and because you've ended up here on this fishing lake, You get a name like Alt Corp Species A53F. So here you are introducing your fishy self to another fish, and the other fish is like, hey, yo, I'm Bass, how's it hanging? What are you? I'm Alt Corp Species A53F. And they're like, what the fuck, that's a mouthful, holy shit. I'm gonna go over there and talk to Catfish instead, because you sound kind of like a nerd loser. Bye. Have I played D&D before? I haven't played specifically D&D, but I recall back when I was in, like, middle school times, 10 to 13, something like that, I went over to a friend's birthday party, and we did play a role-playing style game. I don't remember what it specifically was, but we did that and had a good time. We all made our characters kind of stupid, and I was like this bimbo barmaid type lady, and because my two friends that I played most of the time with during that sort of session were a lot stupider than my own character, she ended up being kind of intelligent by comparison. Don't forget to take a picture holding every fish you catch for Tinder. I think you mean for every sort of, wait, no, the jokes today, right? The OnlyFans. I'm going to start myself an OnlyFans account. Wait, do you think there's an OnlyFish website? I take a picture, me in bikini, holding a really large fish, and I set up my OnlyFish account. So all of my fishing OnlyFins, that's a good one. I love that. And hello, Jerther, and welcome to the stream. Only anglers. There you go. Pay and watch Cacophony pose in bikini with fish. Wow. Well done. Now you must dissect the fish that is in your live well. To dissect a fish, right-click on it and select Dissect. Dissecting a fish will allow you to learn more information about that species, but it will destroy the fish. As you'd expect by dissecting something, like, imagine you start dissecting a fish and you're like, I can keep this afterwards, right? It's not going to totally ruin the original, huh? Dissect frog? Stitch it back together afterwards? You can see this newly gained information on the fish journal panel. To get a better understanding of what you gain by dissecting fish, I would recommend dissecting this fish while you have your fish journal panel open, so you can see the progress bar increase and the new pieces of information be filled in. And thank you for following, Lizard King. Appreciated. Ew, gross. Do I have to? Well, if you want to pass the license test, you do. Alright. Fine. Alright, see, and I right-click, and I can dissect it. But they say that I should open up my fish journal at the same time, so I can see the information on the fish, and then I dissect it, and boom, you can see it fill up. It's like an EXP bar, almost. Great job. Now it's time to change your lure. The boat contains a lure fabricator that can store a certain number of lure designs. If you break off a lure, it will be automatically replaced with an identical one made by the fabricator. You will likely want to change between lure designs from time to time, either to try to get a bite from a previously unknown species, or to target a specific species that you have gained some information about. Go ahead and change your lure by opening your inventory and selecting a different lure. Alright, I'll swap my lure out. So we open up the inventory, and here we can see lure style A and lure B. And so you can see there's sort of the little pixel grid that's just on the right there. At some point, when we unlock it or something, we'll be able to design those ourselves. What do you think a heart-shaped lure would catch? So tiny on mobile, I can only imagine. What if we made a smiley-faced shaped lure even? What'd that catch? Alright, I've selected lure B. Well done! Understanding lures is an important part of fishing successfully. After you finish the ULT license test, you will be able to design your own lures by putting together lure parts and lure mods in certain configurations to create lures with the desired stats and behavior for catching whatever fish you are after. Alright, now it's time to return to Ankobo Lake, your home lake. To do this, open your travel panel and select Ankobo Lake and select Teleport to Ankobo Lake. Oh, right back home we go. Kind of the exact method of traveling when we went to the ult in the first place. There it is, home lake. Teleport. You can probably catch heartworms with a heart lure. But that's not what I want to catch. I would rather catch some heart fish. You know? I don't want... Though, the fish could contain heartworms. Then I consume said fish. And boom, I've got the heartworms now too! Wow. Like a love disc. That's right, that Pokemon that's a fish that's shaped like a heart. Catch some of those, maybe. And here we are, back at your home lake. Now let's talk about modules. You can install a certain number of modules in your boat. Modules typically allow you to perform certain actions or improve your boat in some way. Modules can be accessed from the inventory panel, where you can see specific module-related information and perform tasks and change settings. You can toggle some modules on and off by clicking their title. Well, I'll have to remember that, take some notes. Very advanced features. The next thing I need you to do is go to your home dock on the point just to the northeast. It's the one with the yellow roof. Your home dock is a centralized location where your equipment is stored like boats, rods, lures, and modules. At your home dock, you can check out your career stats and your largest catches, edit your equipment loadout, and store fish. You could move over there manually, but your Universal Lake Teleporter has a feature that allows you to perform short-range teleports to docks in your current lake, in addition to the long-range teleports to other lakes. Very cool, but how do I do that? Well, go ahead and open the travel panel and look for the local dock section. This section will allow you to This section will show you all the docks in your current lake that you have discovered. When you visit a new dock, it will be added to this list so you can easily return to it. Go ahead and click on the home dock button to quickly teleport to your home dock. And then I can interact with them. Let's go to my home dock. Okay. See, local docks, and we just poof right over to it. And then we can just talk. There it is, so you can edit your loadout, rods, lures, teleporters, modules, everything. There's my fish over here. I return to the lake now. Almost finished. So, last thing I need you to do is drop me off at the ULT Corp dock. Okay, should I just head that way now? Once again, you could go over there manually, but you can also teleport, go very fast. They give so much text for these, and I feel like they could easily edit this down so it's a lot shorter. Here we go, to the ULT Corp dock. Boom. We talk to it, and here we go, return to the lake. I've looked at your dock, you're welcome. And now we have passed, and now we want to go talk to the mayor. He wants to talk to me. Makes sense, seeing as they're hiring me, I guess. Hiring? I'm helping out with figuring out why fish are dying, so we'll go over and talk to the mayor to see what he wants. Good job on the license test. Now you can get to work on this important mission that my colleagues and I have selected you for. Alright, thanks. But can you explain it exactly? Sure. The mission is for you to save our lake. Okay, and how do you suggest I go about doing that? Well, we haven't really gotten that far yet. To be honest, I voted against this idea, but my colleagues overruled me. I'm not really sure what an angler can do to save our lake. Mayor over here is like, well, we did a vote, and they said, let's get a fisherman person to help save the lake. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I don't know what to have them do. I'm gonna vote against that. But everybody else was like, but the fish are dying. That means you should get someone who catches the fish to figure it out. Yeah, yeah. And everyone's like, that makes so much sense. Fishermen saving the fish, of course. You know, rather than getting a scientist person or something. All right. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, Mayor. Well, anyway, I guess you could start by traveling to another lake and bringing back some fish. We'll see if they can live in our lake. I think you should go to Lackward Lagoon and catch 4 fish and bring them here. Alright, is there anything else I should know? Well, if it is dark at Lackward Lagoon, then your boat's built-in night vision will be activated. While the night vision is on, you can change the color and contrast settings in the time panel by clicking on the time button in the top bar. From the time panel, you can also choose to wait until it gets light or just wait a certain number of hours if you'd prefer. Well, alright. I'll go try out my new boat and bring back some fish. Oh look, there's a bird flying around. Hi, bird. Let's go ahead and travel then. And now you can see how many different lakes there are. A lot? I like Crying Basin over here, just a lake of tears, I suppose. But we want Lackware Lagoon, right there. So we teleport. That bird is almost as big as the boat. It just looks that way because it's closer to us, the, viewer, since we're looking top down. Not the bird? I already named him Bird. Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore because he's gone now. Okay. And you can see here in the lower left, we've got a map too that you can totally change, and it shows you the depth of different parts of the lake, which I assume allows you to catch, depending on your depth will affect what sort of fish you're catching. But right now, it doesn't really matter what type of fish we catch. So, I cast out my line. There it is at the surface. Maybe we should either use a different lure that sinks. Like my other lure was sinking. So, oh, hang on. I caught a fish. I think I might have been too slow to react, yeah. I hooked a fish for a second, and the fish immediately basically fucked off, but here we go. Alright, I hooked that one. And more birds! Oh no. I accidentally broke it. I wasn't paying attention to my line tension. I lost whatever fish that I just hooked. And now, as things are exceedingly quiet, I'm going to go into settings and just straight mute the music. And then I'm going to navigate over to YouTube with their YouTube library. And here we go. With some country music provided by the miscellaneous people who make it and put it up available on the YouTube library. Boom. Here we go. Now we're in on it. We've got the country beats playing. Let me bring down the winding speed all the way. I wonder if I can just continuously pull... Nope, line break. No good. There was one fish that I had caught and was able to just continuously draw in when I was on the lowest winding speed. Does not seem to be the case for every type of fish. By the way, the name of the song that's playing right now is COVID Come Not Near. Amazing. When I pulled up the library and filtered on the country, I was like, hell. Maybe map isn't showing depth, but fish difficulty? I'm pretty sure when I had like hovered over it or looked at some information piece at some point, it had described it as a depth meter. Up here, there was the map, helpful tips, lures, modules. Pretty sure there was some bit of information somewhere, and it had read it as a depth meter. I don't know. Maybe it is difficulty also. I could see, like, fish that are maybe deeper in the waters just being more difficult. I don't know. But alright, now's the time. I lean back in the boat. It always does take hours to catch and hook the fish, you know? So now we wait. Maybe the depth fish gang are hella smart then. Isn't it always anyway, the deeper you go down into the waters, the bigger the fish you find? And it is always the large fish that are much harder to catch. Some real funky fish in the depths, it's true. There's really weird fish that live out in the depths of the ocean. Or even like fucking the size of the fish you get out there. Huge. It's like they always have in the old pirate tales and the like. How you have the krakens, the giant octopus, or giant squid, and like giant squid totally exist and they have gotten them before and they'll be like the size of a bus or bigger, and it's ridiculous. They're huge and you're like, holy shit. The beaks on those things. Yeah. They get smaller in the deep depths, though, so I guess they are biggest in the middle. It becomes sort of an inverse. Like, you start going down and they get bigger, and they get bigger to a point, and then they start shrinking again. Or it's even like an alternate point. How the fish down in the depths are, like, used to the super pressure down there, and then you bring them out, and they just kind of break, you could say, and they explode or bloat and look ridiculous and completely different from how they look in the depths of the waters. It becomes sort of like the blobfish. That's why the blobfish looks so fucking weird, is because it's down from the depths. So when it's hanging out down there, it looks totally normal. Cool fish. You bring it up, and then it's ruined. It becomes sort of the inverse of any creature living up here on the surface area, where if we descend down there, we have to consider pressure to such a fine point. It's like when we go out into space and there's worries up there. You go down towards the center of the earth, pressure starts building, you gotta have things to kind of that aren't going to just completely get ruined. I just missed that fish. Fuck. Too slow reaction. I guess we'll pull it in our line and resend it out. Try number 2. Maybe I'll wait for one more fish to be hooked, and then we'll swap lures and see if we can't catch anything with our sinking lure. Maybe I'll swap out my winding speed to hang out on 3 then. Okay. Now, for those who are in the Discord and have seen the conversation about the hats. A boat sunk? If you see them blinking, it's because they're teleporting away, alright? I don't know if I should talk about the hats on stream also. The mere talking about them, I don't know if, we've had talk about hats. Okay. To start initially, think about what kinds of heads that people can have. Because for some, they don't have just the head that's, at the top of their torso. There's something else that you refer to as a head. And you can get hats for it. Imagine me. Every year, I always go through Etsy to look at hats. Because I am rather fond of hats with ears, to be honest. Nothing like super over-exaggerated, just like a little light detail, because I think they're kind of cute. So I have several hats myself with ears on them. And I've been wanting a hat with rabbit ears. So every year, when it rolls around Christmas time, I'll browse hats on Etsy and see if I can't find anything that looks good. Most of the time, I don't find anything that I like because either they are, the ears are way too big or the styling of it doesn't really fit the sort of clothing I wear. And look, we got a perkabee. Let me just throw that in my live well. That's one fish, 3 more to go. And so every year, I browse through the hats. Don't find anything interesting, but there's always just a bunch of hats. This year, however, as I'm scrolling through the various results for rabbit ear hats, there's one that's a different kind of hat. The one for your other head. Imagine me. I broke the line. Years I have gone to Etsy and looked through these hats, or even over the course various times of the year, I'll go ahead and scroll over to Etsy, take a little peek. This time, I got a different result just as I'm going through the pages. Here is a crocheted cock with a little rabbit head on the end of it being displayed, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to find hats for my normal face head, and in the results, there's a hat for your cock. And I'm like, holy hell. And honestly, I could not get over it because it was extremely unexpected for me. Because again, I've gone out here on Etsy multiple times to look at hats, and that has never come up as a search result. So this time when it did, I was like, oh my god. Because by extension, they have all sorts of hats there. So that one, of course, had little rabbit ears on it, and had a little rabbit face. And then you stick it on your dick. Those hats were actually used unironically in a lot of northern EU countries. Well, sure, but I'm sure they weren't made to be, cute with little rabbit faces on them. And honestly, I could not, because of the extent of surprise that I coming across it, because not even just coming across it, the fact that they had a little, stuffed and crocheted dick to display the hat on? also got me because that is what they have as their little example picture. They don't have it as just a little tiny hat sitting, and then when you click on it, you see the on display picture. No, 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 you're just casually browsing through hats, and boom, you see that. Please tell me there were no cowboy hats. That I don't exactly remember. But since the shop just had a bunch of crocheted pieces, it makes it so it's a little bit more limiting. You don't see, like, just straight top hats or the like, because they're all made out of yarn and crocheted. By the way, hello there, Veneer, and welcome to the stream. And after talking about them multiple times to people, because I could not get over coming across them, the curiosity got the better of me, and I went to the shop and looked around at what else they had available, and I'm just going through the pages, and I'm like, oh my god, holy shit, oh my god. Because they didn't have just ones that went on the end, like a hat. They had ones that were more like, full sleeve sections. I've also caught 4 fish here, so we should head back over to my home lake so I can turn these into the mare. I wish I could remember everything I found. The one that comes to my mind most readily is one that was a taco that covered the entire shaft, I guess you'd say. Hell. Do you have 4 fish from Lackware Lagoon yet? Yes, I've got them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa, man, I didn't realize how much this one was worth. 36 credits? Look here, this one being 3 versus the 36. Also, that sinking lure worked way better than the one that was just hanging out at the surface. How do you use a dick hat unironically? Yeah, it gets cold, man. That's pretty much the case if you're using it unironically, you know. Limbs of every kind get cold just as you wear a pair of gloves. Just gotta keep the cock warm too. Cock-themed puppet shows. Holy shit. No. No. It's too much. On a bunch of first dates? No. No. Come back when you have 4 fish. I do have 4 fish. Hang on, did I select the wrong thing? I've got them right here. 1, 2... I didn't select them, I see. I accidentally hit back. I guess we'll just, throw them in the lake and see what happens. Are you sure? That doesn't sound very scientific. My character, she doesn't give a shit. She's like, yeah, sure, just throwing them in the water sounds like a great idea. The mayor drops the fish in the lake, and after a few seconds, all 4 float to the surface, dead. We've just killed these fish. Well, that didn't work at all. Huh, I really thought that would work. I can't imagine why that would have failed. Well, okay. Maybe you should go talk to Dr. Matthews. She is a scientist based at Benson Pond. She might have some ideas about what we should do next. I will add the location of her dock to your teleporter. Once you get to Benson Pond, you can quickly teleport to her dock from the local docks section of the travel panel. Alright, I will go talk to Dr. Matthews then. Catch and murder, pretty much. I once met a fish. It was a dark time. It threatened to raise the dead if I didn't hand over my money. Are you sure that was a fish? And wasn't just like a man in a fish suit robbing you? Alright, we want to go to Benson Lake. Pond, sorry. Teleport. And we'll travel again to just hop on over to her dock. Hello.
Hi, Hi, can I help you?
Are you Dr. Matthews?
Yes. And you are?
Well, I am DistantCacophony. I've been sent by the mayor of Ankobo to try and find a way to save Ankobo Lake. He said you might be able to help.
Ah, the mayor of Ankobo! Yes, I know him. He is quite an interesting fellow, that's for sure. I used to fish at Ankobo Lake when I was a child. I haven't been there in many years. What's wrong with the lake?
Well, nobody's quite sure, but the fish are dying and their population is decreasing.
Oh dear, that sounds serious. What have you tried so far?
Well, we found some random fish and dumped them in the lake and they instantly died.
Oh, well, perhaps that's not the route I would have taken. Let me take a look at my database and see if I can find any likely candidate species for you to try to introduce into the lake. Here we go. Alright, so fish from Zachariah Lake should be able to survive in yours. Head over there and try to catch 4 fish and take them back to the mayor. Except this time, maybe try to be a little more scientific with your tests. You know, maybe not just grab them all and dunk them down into the water, maybe?
Well, alright, thanks. I'll head over to Zachariah Lake and try to catch some fish. Alright, and off we go. This time being mildly more scientific, and oh boy, it's nighttime here, and now you can see what the night vision looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off completely and change it over here to color natural, which looks a lot nicer. Green becomes the green stream. Radioactive area.
I show up at the lake. Everything's green. It's not night vision. It's just incredibly radioactive. I hope you're ready to get some, testing done after this. Oh boy.
That lake looks a lot like a fish itself. I know, like look at this. Basically, Zachariah Lake is a fish lake. I probably would find a lot larger fish at a radioactive lake, right? I guess this is also then the biggest fish. I wonder if I could just scoop up this entire place and bring it over and be like, look, I got a fish, teehee. By the way, Nuclear, welcome to the stream. I know you've been here for a hot minute now, but
now I'm saying it.
I like... Ugh, it does look so much like a fish. It just every time I cast my gaze down here at the corner, it's just like, boom, fish.
I wonder if I could keep an aquarium back at my house. I could catch all sorts of fish for it, and we could name all the fish, and we could befriend all the fish. We could, you know, get a yellow one maybe, and name it Freddy. Then it'll be just like the video game. Freddy Fish. Get a green one named Luther. Oh, so exciting.
If only I could keep a fish aquarium back home. I know it said I could keep the fish. Imagine, intergalactic fishing. It also having an aquarium system. Fish napping. Ugh. Just drain Ankobo Lake and transfer this lake there. Now there's an idea, but I guess then if our fish dying problems are related to the area and not specifically the water, I don't know that that would work. Now, where were we with those cockheads? The other unironic uses for them? Uh-oh, the fish got off. I think the fish wanted off the cockhat ride. I guess maybe we shouldn't go back to it, huh? The fish, hearing cockhat, was like, never mind. I'm just gonna go. Well, I guess then maybe I should swap topics. I just learned a week ago that some lakes in Africa actually can explode, and since then I'm suspicious of lakes. What? Lakes can explode? It's called limnic eruption. I used to live by a lake, Skelly says, questioning if his lake could have exploded, thus dooming himself and everybody else around it. Oh my god. Did someone say content? Yes, I did. If you just, like, totally missed the conversation, talk about that. That is quite the shame. Now you'll never know about the cockheads. It's just some lakes, and the last time this happened, in 86, around 2,000 people died. Oh. What scares me is that some lakes have whirlpools in them. Some just appear, but some never actually go away. The whirlpools just suddenly, here you are, casually fishing on the lake. But, oh, this weird sort of water deformity is happening over here. Wait a second, that's a whirlpool. And then you just get sucked in. Then maybe that whirlpool will disappear shortly afterwards. Or maybe it never goes away. And then you can never fish on the lake again. The deadly suck. Whoa. I can't imagine. Whirlpools are so weird. Okay, one, it's always like, you can get the little baby whirlpools almost if you take a bath and the water's getting sucked down into the drain. You can have sort of a little tiny baby whirlpool occurring. But imagine a fucking one and you're in a boat and here's this giant whirlpool sucking you in as everyone on the boat is attempting to, like, turn away and escape from it, and you're like, oh no, oh my god. Holy shit. Or even imagine being a boat and then suddenly just all of these whirlpools start appearing around you. For some reason, there's just suddenly like 5 whirlpools. A kraken comes like bounding up out of the water. You're now essentially living in RPG. You pull out your blade. Your magician friends over there at the front at the wheel pull out their staves. It's time to battle. You must defeat the kraken before you either lose to it and your boat is destroyed by said kraken, or you get sucked into a whirlpool. You must act fast. Timer appears in front of you. The battle has begun. The musician that you've got aboard starts playing an intense tune. The boss battle has begun. Now we've got 4 fish again, so let's head back over to my home lake so we can take them on over to the mayor. And look, I don't even have to travel over that tiny distance. I can still teleport. It doesn't stop me. So, what did Dr. Matthews say?
Well, she wants me to catch 4 fish from Zachariah Lake, and we are supposed to release them here, which I've actually already done.
Do you have the fish that Dr. Matthews told you to catch yet?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, wait, 4, I mean. There's not 5. Okay, let's try this again. I'll just throw them in the water again. I'm sure it'll work this time.
Wait, don't you think we should do it in a more scientific way? Because that's what the doctor said previously, so,
Are you sure about this? Oh, trust me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a mayor.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but okay.
The mayor drops the fish in the lake, and after a few seconds, all 4 float to the surface, dead. Well, that didn't work either. What? A thought Dr. Matthews said these fish should be able to live here.
Well, she did.
Guess you should talk to her again.
Alright, I'll try and figure out what's going on.
I was looking for face masks the other day, and the store also sold those 3D anime mouse pads, but instead, it was a guy's junk. Oh, so instead of like a booby mouse pad, you've got cock and balls mouse pad? Ooh. Well, for people who like a different sort of squish. Where do I want to go? She was at Benson Lake. So Benson Pond, we travel there. Also, the fish hats. That would be pretty good. People like to put hats on everything already.
You put them on your little fish. It's like when people put the little cowboy hats on the sharks. Wow. Alright, hello again, DistantCacophony. How did it go?
Not too good. All the fish died.
Something is definitely off. Those fish should have been compatible with the water of Ancobo Lake. Okay, I need you to do something for me. Take this water testing module and install it in your boat. Then go back to Ancobo Lake and run a full test. Then return to me and I will look at the results.
Alright, I will go test the water. Ooh, new module then. What if our lake is just being hard polluted? We've got this giant factory on one little section that we just haven't seen at all. And they've just been dumping a ton of toxic waste, and we're all like, why are the fish dying? Factory owner over there is like, oh, I have no idea. The water hasn't changed at all. Flying fish with those propeller beanies. Oh my god. I just googled cock hats and all I get are hats that have literal cock, as in the animal on them. You might have safe search on, yeah. If you slap on some extra terms or don't just use cock, you probably will get different results. And by extension, I was searching on Etsy, so if you maybe go over there and search instead, that will at least keep you from straight seeing, you know, real dicks. Also, it got me the first time when I was looking at those. I didn't look at the full description because it was getting cut off. But on one of my other searches, because I was grabbing a link to send it to somebody, I realized within that description listing in the title, they were also referred to as Peter Eaters. And oh my god. That is not a term that I expected to be used. Good lord, that name, I know. So it's just like cock hat, blah, blah, blah. Peter Heater. What? Okay. Let's put on our module here. Water testing toolkit. Test the water. Well, let's see what's happening. Now that's how you sell a cock hat? Yeah, call it a Peter Heater. Hey, anybody need a Peter Heater over here? A wink? Hang on, I think I just retested the water. Did I come up with a result the first time? Water test data and Kobo Lake complete. So I guess that's all I need to do, and we'll head back over to Benson. And then back over to the good old doctor.
Have you run tests on the water?
Why, yes, I have run the tests.
Great, let's have a look at the results. This is odd. These readings don't match the previous readings in my database. Somehow the water in Ancobo Lake has changed significantly. This doesn't typically happen naturally. This is extremely unusual. I have to wonder if something suspicious is going on.
so. You might say something
Fishy? Is going on? Oh my god, I'm a fucking comedy master over here. Fishy? A fish? Oh, how do I do it? I'm not sorry for that joke. So, what do you think I should do? Well, I'll tell you what. I have a friend that might be able to help, but you have to keep it a secret. He doesn't really like to draw a lot of attention to what he does. When you meet him, he will greet you with the question, "Have you seen any turtles under the dock?" And you need to reply, "Only one, and he didn't look very happy to see me."
Well, that sounds very secretive. Where is he at? And hello there to you too, Dunder. Welcome to the stream. We have murdered 8 fish, it's true.
Yes, it is. Now, don't tell anyone what I've told you. His name is Dimitri, and he should be located at a dock on Zydops Lake.
Alright, I will go and try and find him. Zydops, that's the very last lake. And now we have to... I could probably just, just casually travel straight... Oh, hang on. I saw somebody started boating towards me with a little exclamation point, and I just sort of zipped right away from him. Oh well. Have you seen any turtles under the dock? Am I, trying to properly recite this from memory, and I'm doing a very poor job on this lower section?
Well, only one, and he didn't look very happy to see me.
Oh, alright. Hello, I'm Dimitri. What's your name? Who sent you?
Hi, I'm DistantCacophony. Dr. Matthews sent me. She said you might be able to help me.
And hello there, Thoth, and welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, we did dissect that first fish, so that is 9 dead fish. Oh, Dr. Matthews. Of course. She's one of our finest scientists. What is it you need help with?
Well, something fishy is going on in Ankobo Lake. Oh my god, I can't get over how good that joke was. Ooh. I am such a comedy master over here.
And hello there, Kitson, and welcome to the stream also. Observing my amazing, masterful pun that I have now made for a second time. Thank you, Cacophony. What? Is that a joke?
I don't think he has much of a sense of humor, Chat. Well, sorry, there is a problem with Ankobo Lake. The fish in the lake are dying, and Dr. Matthews and I found out that the water in the lake has recently changed somehow.
Water changing, fish suddenly dying. It sounds somewhat suspicious, and familiar, too.
What? Suspicious? Couldn't it just be a natural occurrence?
Well, it could be a natural occurrence, but things like this don't happen very often. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that Ult Corp has a hand in this.
What? But they gave me the license for teleporting around. How could they do this?
Ult Corp? The teleporter people? Why would they want to ruin Ankobo Lake?
Wow, these puns are kind of... carp. Like... crap?
Comedy gold joke right there. Oh my god. How does Chat do it? How?
Just as good as Cacophony over here. Amazing.
I don't know if I can hang out in this chat anymore.
Is it because you aren't as witty comedy gold as Kraken? You can't think of the good puns, so you feel undeserving, so you can't hang out here anymore? I understand. They are pretty difficult puns to make. There's a lot you don't know about Ult Corp. Did Dr. Matthews explain exactly what we do here?
No, only that you work in secret.
Well, that's true. We don't really like to publicize what we do here, at least not yet. You know that universal lake teleporter from Ult Corp you have installed in your boat?
Well, yeah, it uses the Ult network to allow me to teleport to many different lakes all over the universe.
Oh, you sound like their spokesperson. There's a lot you don't know about Ult Corp. They have a dark history.
What do you mean?
Well, my uncle was an engineer who worked on the very first intergalactic teleportation device. He was almost finished with the prototype when someone broke into his dock and stole all of his work. A few months later, a new corporation called Ult Corp announced their brand new Ult device. My uncle was devastated.
What? That's terrible! He should have gotten a patent on it while he was working, you know? Maybe, as they say, you snooze, you lose, so maybe this is actually your uncle's fault, I say, taking the corporation's side. I leave, I get paid big bucks, and I rat on Dimitri, and then I continue on living my life on a different lake, because Kobo now is completely ruined and all the fish are dead forever. I vowed then and there to take down Ult Corp. That was the last thing I did. I went to college and studied engineering and tried to learn everything I could about the technology behind the Universal Lake Teleporter. Then a few years ago, I started the Teleportation Freedom Group, TFG. We are an underground organization of scientists, engineers, and anglers which have been studying teleportation and investigating Ult Corp. Have you discovered anything interesting?
Hello there, S'more, and welcome. And what about the fish? We have to keep waiting. It's telling us about it.
Well, we reverse engineered Ult Corp's flagship product, the Universal Lake Teleporter, and found that it has the ability to teleport to far more lakes than the 65 that they advertise. And when I say far more, I mean like a billion lakes. There are countless lakes out there that are detected in the Ult network, but Ult Corp has only made a very small number of them available. Imagine if they allowed all, like, billion lakes on here. You just pull out your Ult device, and it's just like, whoosh, billion options. There's too many. Too many options.
Well, that's interesting. Is it possible to teleport to these lakes?
Yes, it is. We've been able to modify some of Ult Corp's teleporters to be able to travel to all of the lakes detected in the network, and have been exploring and building a database of the lakes and fish living in the lakes. They're never going to finish this because if there are a billion lakes listed, it's going to be like entire lifetimes in order for them to catalog everything. Jesus Christ.
Alright, it's all very interesting, but how will any of this help me figure out what is wrong with Kobo?
Well, if Ult Corp is behind the problems with Kobo, like I suspect they are, then helping to bring them down is your best course of action. So essentially we're just saying it's probably Ult Corp, therefore we're going to destroy them in order to save our lake. All working off just assumptions and theories and not figuring out specifically what's the problem with the lake, just going, yeah, I think it's maybe this corporation, so let's destroy them.
Well, I want to get to the bottom of this. If Ult Corp had anything to do with this, I want to find out. Can I join TFG?
You seem like a worthy candidate if Dr. Matthews sent you here. That's good enough for me. However, you will need to help us out before becoming a TFG member.
You know, I don't know how secure their setup is for allowing in new members for their secret organization. Like, all this was the mayor going, hey, catch some fish. Oops, we failed. Go talk to this person. I go over to that person. I'm like, hey, can you help us out here? Okay, I caught some fish. I tested the waters. Now what should I do? And she's just like, well, head over to this guy. He does secret work. And then this guy tells me everything. They're not very good at keeping secrets, I think. Someone is going to infiltrate them extremely easily. You know, like me. What if I'm actually working for Alt Corp? They had no idea. Okay, how can I help? We have many anglers like yourself working for us who go out and explore lakes all over the universe and discover the fish species in them. Kind of like Pokemon trainers. I think you could help us out with that. We even maintain a leaderboard of the largest fish ever caught in these unknown lakes and hold daily tournaments so you can see how you stack up against other anglers. Oh, alright, that sounds good. What do I need to do? Well, first you need to ditch that Alt Corp device and use one of ours. Our TFG teleporter is a modified Alt Corp teleporter that will allow you to access the full network of lakes using a teleport to unknown lake feature that we developed. Due to the proprietary way that the Alt Corp indexes the unlisted lakes in the Alt network, teleporting to a random unknown length is currently our only option for getting to these lakes for the first time. So, does that mean once I leave, I can never return? Well, not quite. Our team has developed a way to save the coordinates of a lake once you are there so that you can return there later. Just use the saved lakes feature of the TFG teleporter that I gave you. The unit that I am giving you can only save the coordinates of one lake at a time, but perhaps in the future, you can upgrade to a better unit that can save even more lake coordinates. Now, I can go anywhere in the system. And I like then that makes it, essentially, we did all of that license testing with Alt, and now we've immediately replaced it, basically. What a waste of time. I guess then we'll put this in our current loadout. Choose teleporter to send to home storage. Get rid of the corporation one, we don't care about that. Continue. I will also give you the TFG exploration module so that you can store and transfer all the exploration data that you discover at unknown lakes. Exploration data is comprised of both information about the lake and information about the lake species living in the lake. When you arrive at an unknown lake, use the module to scan the lake and try to catch some of the fish to gather information about the species. I hope you don't need a passport to visit them all. It's probably fine. If we do need a passport and they start coming over to arrest us, we'll just casually teleport away from them real quick. No problem. Alright, we're putting that in our current toolkit too. Alright, you should have everything you need to get started, so head out to some unknown lakes and start exploring. Once you have gathered some exploration data, you can go to the dock on the Conflux and transfer the data to the TFG database. We will transfer some credits to you depending on how interesting and complete the exploration data is. Remember, more complete data is worth more than the incomplete data, so learn as much as possible about the lake and its species to increase the overall value of the exploration data for the lake. The Conflux? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. The TFG conducts all of its business at a private lake that cannot be accessed by Alt teleporters. We call it the Conflux, and that teleporter I gave you will allow you to teleport there. We prefer to do our work without the risk of Alt users. That makes sense. Yeah, which reminds me, I'm going to be moving to my dock on the Conflux after this conversation. Don't want to draw too much attention here. So, future meetings there instead. That's probably a good idea. Anyway, do some exploring.
want you to gather exploration data with a completeness factor of 1 for one lake and sell it at the dock.
Alright, I guess I'll get started then.
Maybe this is why the mayor also was just kind of like, just throw the fish in the lake, it's fine, because he's actually working with Old Corp too, and I won't be surprised. So here we go, now we've got the conflux saved here. And now we can teleport to a random unknown lake. Paid off? Potentially. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, if you got huge paycheck... This is really orange. Would you like to have your catches in unknown lake submitted to the TFG leaderboard? Is a Steam leaderboard of largest fish caught in unknown lakes? Nah, that's okay. I'll keep my data to myself. I don't want to be embarrassed and be paired up and be like, look, I caught a 10-pound fish. And then other Steam users like, heh, pathetic. I caught a 1,000-pound fish. Lightning. It's all peanut butter? Oh my god. It is like Peanut Butter Lake. And I guess I can't get a map generated here. I guess we'll just go ahead and start fishing then. So sticky. Yeah, imagine how thick the waters would be if it was all just peanut butter. What kind of fish would you even find in the peanut butter lake? I guess
That's probably a little bit of a non-question because in reality, you know, in non-fantasy land sci-fi world, you wouldn't find anything. They would all be dead.
In a peanut butter lake, you would find jellyfish. Oh my god. So funny. Oh my god. How does slime do it? Comedy master over there. Get trout of here. Another comedy gold joke. Oh my god. However, we don't seem to be finding any fish here. Perhaps I'll swap out my lure and see if we can find something on the surface instead.
Yeah. Swap that around and cast it out.
See if we can find any fish this way. If we don't get anything, maybe we'll like go over here, do a little bit of casting. Nearby in the brush live the chocolate moose. These are the jokes, courtesy of chat. Thank you, chat. Amazing. Oh, fuck. I was adjusting a blanket I had. Hand off the mouse. I missed the fish. This fish, however, I did hook. Nice try. You didn't escape me this time. That's right. Slowly reeling you in. Blanket is more important. True. Look at that. I got an achievement too from Steam. An angler achievement. Ugh. And now we've got species 3016AE1. Wow. I put it in my live well. The first fish on our fishing journey at Peanut Butter Lake. Wow. Yes, here's now my exploration data summary. Completeness is at 0.04. If I dissect the fish, cotton lake, caught with old rot. Oh, I'm still using some old pieces, huh? Whoops. If I dissect it, it does increase my completeness too. Yes. Okay. Looks like it has fish species 3 out of 8. So if I get multiple and I get it up to cap, that probably will give me nice boosts. So we continue fishing. Don't dissect him, I named him Freddy. Sorry, Twitchy. It's too late. Already chopped him up. In fact, what you've got on your plate there, that plate of sushi I've just handed out? That's Freddy. Must be a strong fish to swim through peanut butter. A very powerful fish indeed, yes. And hello there, Arkin, and welcome to the stream. We're out here today, fishing on this peanut butter lake. You can tell because of the color, the consistency. It's so smooth. I pull out a piece of bread, grab out a knife that I've got too, and I just give a little scoop and I spread it out on my bread. It's a good thing that we landed at this lake because I forgot to bring my jar of peanut butter with me. So now we can eat our peanut butter sandwich, chat. I'm allergic to peanut butter. Don't eat that sushi then either, because seeing as Freddy was here at this peanut butter lake, that means they're going to be very contaminated with peanut butter. That was a relatively quick jump from we've unlocked the unlimited potential of 1 billion lakes to I've dissected and served you your own fish friend. You know, maybe just a moderate leap. I think this is also the same fish we just caught, so now we've got a second one. It's worth a whopping 2 credits. We're in the big money now. I take a bite of my peanut butter sandwich. I make up a second one for somebody else. I hand it out over to chat. There you go. Make sure you don't give that sandwich though to Twitchy, because he's allergic to the peanut butter. And thank you for following Hoggy McHoggy. Appreciate him. Wait, I think there was like the tiniest sliver there, but I think I missed the fish still anyway. I don't like peanut butter? Oh. Well, either then you can have some of the fish we're catching here, you can consume some of that, or you can wait until we happen upon another lake with some other sort of spread food, you know. Maybe we'll find a Nutella, we'll find some jelly of some kind, jam, grape jelly, strawberry jelly, blood, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for things you could spread upon bread. A cheese lake, now there's an idea. Maybe we should aim for coming up with a cheese lake, because then we could... Nacho cheese lake. Oh my god. Can you eat some of the wood from the boat? I think we have enough extra wood on the boat that we could spare some for you to consume. Sure, let me just grab my miniature axe that I've got sitting here and rip a little piece off and there we go. And there you go, Kitson. I guess I didn't dip it in any peanut butter. I don't know if you want it to have a little touch of peanut butter on it or not. But there you go. Feel free to eat as you please. And that is also a different fish. Look, this one's have little whiskers on it. Wow. Endearing fish. Let's dissect them. That's 1. Total value is now at 11. Completeness at 0.27. I guess then the total value... Yeah. In the lower right corner, you can see total value 18 credits. So this is how much money I'm going to make off of it when I go off to sell it to the THQ place. But puberty fish? Is that the kind of fish that I was catching? When do we... Oh yeah, because it did have whiskers on it. I see. I see. When do we get a fish with a soul patch? That's a good question. We just have to keep fishing and see if we find one with a soul patch. Are there any fish that currently exist that look like they have soul patches? By extension, does anyone refer to that as a soul patch when it's on a fish? Or would they just call it, you know, something like a fin? When do we catch a fish with a soul? Twitching? But all of the fish have souls. They have hearts They've got soul. They have feelings. But that doesn't stop us from dissecting them, I guess. Alright, let's swap back over to our lure A and see if we can catch some, of the deeper fish, perhaps. Catch something a little bit different. Let's go over here and toss out my line and see what we can find. And we're just cutting them open while they're still alive, it's true. Seeing as I'm just slapping the fish down into here into my live well, I just pull them out, and I'm like, well, it's time to dissect you. And I set them down upon my bench. I pull out my nice little, what do they call those? The surgical knives. The word escapes me. It's not something like an X-Acto knife, or it is like an X-Acto knife, but it is not one because those are for crafting purposes, not for surgery. That's right, that's the word I'm thinking of. Scalpel. Thank you. That's what you use when you're dissecting things. I take my scalpel, I stab it into the fish, I kind of wave my hand around a little bit. Is this how you dissect things properly? It's close enough, right? I start just slapping it around, I've cut it into pieces of sushi. Is this how you dissect properly? I don't know. I keep chopping at it. Fish pieces are flying around all over the place. Do you think this is gonna get me good information? I look down at just the pile of fish flesh that now exists, very poorly dissected apart. Is this right? Is this how you do it? I love dissecting things in school, like the opposite of all of those cartoon or show episodes where they're like, it's time to dissect the animal. And characters like, what? I can't do this. I must release the frogs to freedom. And then that's the episode. You're like the opposite. And you're like, oh no. Hell yeah, I'm ready to dissect some frogs. A few people passed out when we had to dissect stuff. Yeah. I had my hand in a pig's heart. Oh my god. Back when I was in high school and we had different selections of classes we were able to take, you know, for like science, biology was not one that I took. I took like chemistry and I think a general science class at some point. I never had to dissect any animal. So I got like a pass. I dissected a goat eye. Little bit of a different dissection type than a straight frog, I guess. You're not missing out on much. Excuse me, I'm missing out on seeing the innards of animals or other such, like, flesh forms, like eyeballs and hearts. Looking back, I would have rather have chosen French as a class than do an additional science. I could see that. Sometimes the language classes, I guess it depends. Class difficulty can vary so much based upon the teacher you end up with. If you end up with an awful teacher, that's going to make the class especially difficult. I recall back in my high school days, we had to take 2 years required of some foreign language. And at my high school, the selection of classes was pretty limited there, so I ended up just taking French. And the French teacher wasn't great, but the class was relatively easy, honestly. We spent a good amount of time, like, just watching movies in French, and then writing, like, little words down that we'd pick up from the movies, and we turned that in. I think we might have also had to write some summaries in French about the movie, maybe. It's been a little while, but there were some little shorts. There was one, I cannot remember the name of what it was, but it was a television, or I don't know, specifically a television show, but it was a show about, like, this American guy that was living with some French people in their house, or apartments, really. So it was like him, some other French guy who had his own apartment, and then these two girls in their apartment. And there was one episode where he was teaching them some words in English, or some, like, phrases in English. And there's one part where he is teaching her how to say, like, your eyes are amazing, and the girl repeating it back to him is like, your eyes are amazing. And it sounded so ridiculous. I think that American guy was in a few different versions of that show because he knew a few different languages, so they were able to just reuse him across them. But they had that show available in a couple different languages, and obviously would just use different actors for different languages, but high action drama there as they lived out their daily life. We had to watch La Belle et la Bête like 3 times. I'm not sure if we ever watched Beauty and the Beast for my French class. We did certainly watch several movies. There was this one movie set where we watched a couple of different ones from them, and it was like this one kind of competent cop guy, and he had a partner that was a little bit less competent, and he would always call him, like, I cannot remember what the words were in French, but he was always calling him, like, a banana head. But the translator, like, subtitles always phrased it like he was saying some swear insult instead, when in the French translation would have been more like banana head, yeah. And hello there, Blue Fox, and welcome to the stream. I can speak English and Twitch speak, so I'm bilingual. I don't remember what the comic was, but I remember some old, you know, wacky internet type comic where it was like the character in it was on an airplane and somebody was talking in the leet speak, and the other character was like, oh my god, can anyone speak this leet speak language that's aboard the plane here? And then some other person on the plane, like, also spoke in it, and it's like, holy hell. They stole that joke from Airplane, so there's a movie called Airplane where they make a similar such joke. They just swapped out the references to being the leet speak instead. Wow. There's the camera. I think it's on Netflix right now. I see. So I could just casually go over there and watch Airplane and witness the joke, the original form. I mean, of course, on the other hand, lots of not even just comedy jokes, but stories or lines. Medias like to reference each other, you know? So they'll make jokes that are kind of sourced from elsewhere, or they will make scene visual references to some other movie, so on, because they get inspired from them. Or they do it just as a method of stealing. Basically, they go, oh, that's a funny joke, let me just yoink, use it myself. Okay, I don't need to dissect any more of species AE1, it looks like, because it says that's 8 out of 8. Here we can swap over to my fish journal. Yeah, I can see the bar on this one. Full up. Hang on. Rename species. Oh my god, I can name this fish.
after I get it up to maximum, I guess we can name the species. Alright, you know what that means? Clearly we name it after chat people, huh? Time to put in a number, chat. Who wants to be this fish? Peter Heater Fish, thank you. That's it. That's instead what I'm going to name. Just do a swap and be like, never mind, it's not going to be named after a chat member. It's going to be named Peter Heater Fish. Wow. Alright, here we go. I'm typing in random. So whoever gets the number gets to be the fish. There we go. The number's 94. That means it's Nukalurk. Boom. You're a fish now. 93, says Twitchy afterwards. Wow, you got it. How did you know? 94? Oh, sorry, Twitchy. It looks like Blue Fox is actually closer. There we go. I've named the fish. Now we need to get more for the AE2 so we can name it also. Dissect. Actually, renaming it will also be useful too, because now whenever I catch Nukalurk, it can be like, well, we've already caught this, so I don't really need to dissect it anymore. Alright, let's see if we can get some more fish. It seems a little bit like I can only seem to catch these 2 fish here proficiently. Might need a different kind of lure to catch some different fish. I can finally meet SpongeBob! That's true, since you're down here in the depths of the water, you could go see if SpongeBob is down there, and you could introduce yourself and maybe become best friends. Wow, imagine being SpongeBob's best friend. As long as you're not someone like Squidward, you certainly wouldn't be opposed to it, right? Wait, we don't need to dissect Nuka? Technically, we don't anymore, no, because we dissect to learn information about the fish, and we've already got maximum information about him, so... And fortunately, we've got AE2, so we can still dissect this. SpongeBob is so high energy. It's true, if you're not someone who gets along with someone who's very high energy, maybe not super great for you. He loves Squidward though. It's true, SpongeBob does love Squidward, but Squidward doesn't exactly like him. So if you're Squidward in the relationship, maybe not a good time. Squidward is the most relatable character in the show. Well, they make him out as being the most straight man type character, right? I'm gonna be honest. I have seen so little of SpongeBob that I really don't know much about them. The most I know is really secondhand, or people take clips of it, or people themselves will make references to it. I think maybe at some points I watched little slivers of episodes or the like, but yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child, so as a result, didn't watch any of it. Hell yeah, brother, love me some fishing. Me too, Finisar. Welcome to the fishing stream. Here I am, sitting out on Peanut Butter Lake, attempting to catch some fish. I wasn't allowed for a while too, but then my parents found it funny. I mean, it's kind of the case, since it's your parents that choose what you are and are not allowed to consume, or watch, in this case. It becomes kind of like, if your parents approve of it, you can go for it. But if they don't approve of it, then you can't. See, and now we've caught a Nukalurk. I'm gonna swap my lure again. And I know maybe not down here for catching for this longer lure, or the sinking lure. Maybe if I go up a little bit. And it's also night, and this does say, one, it's like little ratings. I'm not entirely sure No, this describes what the lure is like, so I think this is saying that the lure is pretty bright. Perhaps then it will stand out more against the darkness, and maybe it'll... Whoa, look, see? Bam! Instant fish. Maybe the brightness of the lure stands out against the darkness, and as such, I was able to catch it instantly, but it's just another nuke alert. Well... yeah, some parents let you watch anything. You could be watching a rated R movie filled with violence and sex, and your parents could be like, it's fine, it builds character. I don't see a problem with them watching that. Whereas other parents will be absolutely scandalized, quickly changing the channel at the faintest hint of the drop of blood. They go, no, you can't watch that, that is far too gory. Like Arkin over there, growing up watching South Park, parents not caring at all about the types of jokes that they might be making or the language that they're using. They go, it's fine, and thus we Arkin, sitting down in front of the television, going, haha, funny joke. I grew up watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast and C Lab 2021. And also 6 parents over there not caring. I used to watch Jaws on VHS when I was little. I watched Kill Bill at like 13. Just all over the place in chat. They're like, yeah, my parents let me watch a lot of things that maybe other parents wouldn't have allowed. I had way too many older siblings for that to ever be near the top priority. Yeah, age of siblings can certainly, I would imagine, influence it. I'm one of the youngest of all of my siblings, but I don't think there's quite enough of an age gap between me and the oldest to be at a point where that would have been the case. And plus, my parents still would have been rather strict over it anyway, so... I never watched TV much. I grew up on video games, then playing WoW with my mom. I had a friend who played Guild Wars, and her dad also played Guild Wars, and I think they played with each other, perhaps. My parents did not play video games when I was a child, though when very young, we did have a computer in household, but we had rather limited access to it. We had a console also that we were able to more regularly play on. And then when we got older and moved, and our dad's job would make it so that he'd occasionally get like outdated or unusable laptops from the company, and so then we would take those laptops and play on them. Oh boy, much time was spent playing on just consoles and laptops because, oh, that's fancy, very blue fish there. Let's see, because for a period of time where we moved, I was like going to school up through, say, partway through first grade. We moved to like the middle of nowhere where we were essentially homeschooled. And then really most of our time was spent playing console games and PC games and like. I played WoW with my grandmother. Oh. Huh. And Ratchet and Clank with your grandmother. That's good times, but she's passed now, but she played WoW from Wrath onwards, or Wraith, however pronunciation that goes with. At least you had good times with her while she was still around. Blue fish, blue fox. Oh my god, that fits. Let's see. I don't know why, but also when I was a small child, I recall too. There's the Mario Paint game,
which had a variety of different sort of like subsections of things that you could do on it. Like, you could draw and do little animations, or it had like a little fly swatting mini game, which was very difficult, I recall. And then there was also like a music making section too. And for whatever reason, small child me, one of the default songs that had on there, I swear I had made, and it was like, I did this, and sibling or parent was like, no, you didn't, Caco. You didn't do this song. That was a default one. I'm like, no, I made this. It was me. And I don't know if I legitimately thought I did do it, or I was trying to take credit for the song, or what. But I was convinced that I made the song. Mario Paint was the bomb. Hell yeah. We even had the little mouse that you could buy separately for it and plug it in with the little mouse pad it provided you. Hell yeah. And hello there, call Mimo, and welcome to the stream. I liked the Music Maker. I couldn't make any music, though. Same. Especially when you're a tiny child. You certainly aren't making any good music from there. Imagine, though, if you were 4 and you were like Mozart, making masterpieces. I used to watch my mom play Fallout New Vegas before I was old enough to play it. Not my parents, but I remember watching my siblings, mainly my older brother, play a good number of video games. Truly, pre-watching streamers or Let's Players on YouTube play games, you just watch your parents or siblings play the video games instead. So then, you transitioning over to watching just random people on the internet play games, not too far off. What is my like data at now? Completeness 0.86. Oh, we're almost there then. Dissect you. That puts us at 0.9. Only 0.1 more to go, and I've completed this mission. Yes. My mother and I just got to max level last night in WoW. We stayed up so late and was so tired we were yelling at each other. Oh, holy hell. But now you're maxed! And now you get to do all the wacky endgame max level things. Whatever that constitutes. Masterpieces on Mario Paint with baby squeaks, dog barks, and plain noises. Or like, what was it, the Yoshi that... Not the Yoshi, but I remember it was like the little baby... I guess it was the baby face that was like... That one. That sound effect. My god. She wouldn't let me play it because of the strip club in the game. I mean... I could almost see if she had just, like, sat around and supervised while you were playing it. She could be like, no, you're not allowed to go into that one. Alright? That club, don't go into that, you're not allowed. Turn away right now or else you're never playing this video game ever again. And you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm not going in there then. And then you wait until she goes to bed. And then you sneak out of your own bed and go downstairs. Or to another part of your house. You stick the game. If we're assuming it's console here. And then you sneak over to the strip club where your parents said not to go. And you go in anyway. And then you're like, oh, is that lady naked? Oh my. And then I played Saints Row 2 when she wasn't around. Yep, that also. Always the case when it's like your parents say, all right now, young child, you're not allowed to play or watch this thing, okay? And then you casually go over to a friend's house or casually get up during a time where a parent isn't around And you go, no parent to stop me now. And you get in on the rule-breaking action. Alright, and you're gonna head out some more? Alright, thanks for coming on by to watch. Hope you have a nice night. Man, the song on this one is really happening, huh? There we go. I think some of the strongest memories I have of, like, being a child and playing games is from Roller Coaster Tycoon and from Harvest Moon 64. I recall, I think it was my first time playing Roller Coaster Tycoon and, like, putting out a little line of sidewalk and building a little carousel and being like, oh, here I am, making my own amusement park. And I'm pretty sure that amusement park did extremely well. I did not run out of money. Oh no. Oh, I missed that fish. I made big money and that park was very successful. Child me, expert at Roller Coaster Tycoon instantly. I loved Harvest Moon 64. First off, hello there, Brandon, and welcome to the stream. And yeah, I loved Harvest Moon. I still love Harvest Moon. I don't play it as much as I did when I was younger, but I played the heck out of Harvest Moon. My first wife on the 64 version was Potpourri, the pink-haired lady. And I recall getting all the nice little extra add-ons in for my house. And I recall having the small mouse toddler child and going up to my wife, Potpourri, and being like, yes, wife, we are an amazing couple here with my 76k in cash money. I am successful good farmer. I feel like I remember, because that was a borrowed game from like some cousins, I think I remember them commenting how they either didn't realize you could get married to some of the ladies, or they were never very good at romancing them. I can't recall. I think part of the reason that I went with Potpourri was because it was easy to romance her, because you just had to throw flowers at her. And I think because she had pink hair, and I liked her pink hair. I recall at some point later on erasing that save file so I could try romancing Mary instead, too. I remember playing American McGee's Alice in Wonderland on our 2003 desktop. A very different type of game than Harvest Moon. I wish that's how romance worked in real life. Truly. If only romance in real life worked like in Harvest Moon, where you could casually just go up to people, say, hiya, how you doing? Have a flower. Next day, hi, how you doing? Have a flower. Next day, hi, how you doing again? Have a flower. I mean, you can toss gifts at people, true, but I think for the most part in real life, just throwing flowers at people isn't going to be very successful. Small village romance. Real life. You live in a very small town. There's not a lot of romance options for people who you can date and marry. So you pick one of them, then you're like, this person's not too bad, I guess. And then you just visit them every day and throw flowers at them before you head off to work, or after you finish work every day. Can't guarantee it doesn't work like that. Imagine, though, instead, because part of the reason you throw something like flowers at them is because that person really likes flowers. So you just say, hey, I love diamonds, wink. And then the person trying to romance you just comes by every day and gives you a diamond. That's the real way to live. It's time to rotate and just say, I am going to marry whoever gives me gifts. And then the person comes up and is like, hey, I like you. And you're like, well, I would like you too if you start giving me a present every day. And then that's how your life starts happening. That is definitely how it works for some people. Honestly not wrong. Because it is certainly the case where some partners are just like, hey, give me gifts. Give me high dollar gifts, please, and I will love you for it. Mwah mwah. And then they complain at you if they're not worth enough money, or if you've made the gift, because that's also not enough money spent on the gift, and clearly you do not love them if you didn't spend tons of money on their present.
Whoever gives me the most diamonds gets to marry me.
That's the way you make money in reality. Forget about getting a job, going dumpster diving. I feel like it seems most of the fish are hanging out at night. Let me skip time to go back to the night. We're already kind of close to it, but... See, in my little reader thing, I think showing the different times that I've caught fish. So if we skip ahead 3 hours, we're now at this green section for catching species 3016 AE4. Or when I last caught them, anyway. See, look at Finisar over there even, attempting to romance me by giving me some flower emojis. I take the flower, I look at it, I guess this is okay. I mean, if this flower was made out of, you know, expensive gems and gold and the like, maybe you'd get some extra points out of it. I stick it in a vase. I guess it's okay. The fish hate being out in the hot, super peanut butter. Yeah, maybe they all just hide down at the bottom where it's a bit cooler. Stay nice and cool that way. Don't want to get caught at other times. Oh no, it's only a neutral gift. That's like a +1 hard gift. At this point, it'll be years. That's right, if you just opt for the basic gifts to give to somebody to attempt to romance them, it could take years before you're successful. I'd be the reverse. Whoever gives me the worst gift can marry me. But then that works the opposite way. You give people gifts they hate, and it destroys the level you've built with them. Here you've spent weeks giving them flowers, and you accidentally give them a flower that they hate? Boom, all your hard work lost instantly.
Wow, I know it's been years since you've been giving me this flower, and I've started kind of liking you over it, but, did you just give me a dandelion? I hate dandelions. That means I hate you now. I can't believe this. Our relationship reset to 0. You're gonna have to start from scratch now. Start gifting, Buster.
So would this be the natural peanut butter that's kind of liquidy, or like the gift, where it's very thick? Maybe that varies based upon the time and the season.
I told you, only diamonds and gold ingots.
What do you think you're doing trying to give me this little handmade paper crane where, when unfolded, has a very endearing poem on it? I hate this. I rip it up. Here it is. This written poem you've given me? Gone. I hate it. Give me more valuable gifts. Things you've spent and put your heart into? Trash. I don't want it. Get rid of it immediately. And of course, this is joked about, but ultimately, this would be the easier method versus, you know, actually talking to someone and getting to know them. Approaching someone? Ugh. Emotions? Only material goods here.
Okay, here's my still beating heart. I take your heart and I throw it back at you. Pathetic! That is not worth anything. I don't want it. Get rid of it. I'm not interested. You didn't spend anything on that. I would have to sell it myself. Why don't you go and take that heart and go sell it on the black market and then use that money to buy something, actually worthwhile? Okay? Come back when you do that.
When am I going to just shoot the fish? Probably easier to get fish that way. I don't know. How much would it destroy the fish when I shoot them? Oh, wait. I did it. Completeness is finally at 1. We can travel to the conflux and turn in the quest. Here we go. Hard to spend money with no heart on account of being dead and all? Well, that's not my problem now, is it? If you want to legally sell your heart in the US, it can be purchased for about $1 million. That's right. That's how you truly romance somebody. Also, I guess we got to the end of this playlist. Or quote-unquote playlist. We went to the next page. Here we go. Music's back on. Wait, Dimitri, you're not what I want. Where do I need to sell this? Sold. Exploration data. At the TFGHQ dock, which looks like it's this right here. The little quest marker made it feel like I needed to go over there. If I could get a replacement heart, I'd totally sell. Imagine if you sold your heart and just bought another heart because you're like, I need to make money, so I'll sell my heart. However, I need a replacement heart, so I'll just use the money I sold to... Use the money I got selling my heart and buy a new heart. So basically, you've just swapped out your money. Boom, I've sold the data. Now we'll head back over here, and that should let me finish the quest. My colleagues at the TFGHQ dock tell me you've submitted some good exploration data. Excellent work! You are now a full member of TFG. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you! What should I do next?
While you were gone, I looked through some of my records. What you said about the lake's fish dying sounded familiar to me. I found some reports from a place called Tafkoto Lake. It was a lake that used to be part of the Alt network in a very early stage of the network's development. Supposedly, the fish at Tafkoto Lake gradually died off similarly to what is happening at Ankobo Lake.
Alright, is there any more information? Were they able to save the lake?
I don't think so. There's not a lot of information about this lake. However, because it was part of a very early version of the Alt network, I may be able to locate it with a bit of luck. Maybe you can go check it out?
That sounds like a pretty good idea, but how do I get there?
And hello there, Digital Mako, and welcome to the stream. I should be able to hack together a module that can override your teleporter and allow you to teleport to Tafkoto Lake. I will probably need a legacy Alt network firmware chip though, and those are not too easy to find anymore. You should go talk to Kaylee at her dock on Graph Pond. She collects old technology and has helped us out with some stuff in the past. Okay, Graph Lake. That's a Dre. Graph? Or Graph Pond, actually. Oh, and then goodbye. Oh, okay. Bye, Mako. Kaylee's dock. Hello, Kaylee. Oh, look, she looks so look at her eyebrow. She's so innocent. She's like, oh,
hi, I'm Kaylee. What can I do for you?
Well, hi, Kaylee. I'm looking around for a legacy Alt network firmware chip. I heard you were a collector and might have an extra one lying around.
Ah, interesting. May I ask what you need it for?
No, you may not. It's a secret. We'll just be honest.
I need it to build a module to teleport to an old lake. That sounds pretty sketchy, but I guess I could let you have the firmware chip as long as you don't pull me into anything. However, I will need you to do something for me first.
Okay, what did you have in mind?
Well, I'm looking for a certain fish for a project that I'm working on. The fishing isn't one of my strong suits, so if you could bring me back a fish, I would very much appreciate it.
Well, I guess I can do that. Tell me about the fish.
Species that lives in Oraculous Pond and is called the Pyrulu. It looks like this. For my project, the fish needs to weigh at least 6 pounds. Bring me a fish as I have described, and you will have your firmware chip.
Well, okay. We'll go get your fish. If it was a nuke alert that they wanted, holy hell. I would already be done if that was the case. Let me see real quick. If I go over to the Alt Corp dock, I think I can sell fish here. Yeah, so we're gonna sell away my... Hang on, actually. I'm gonna sell those fish. And I am going to travel back home. Yes, go back to my home dock over here. And I'm going to store... Boom. Nucleark is now in my storage. Essentially, like my home aquarium, right? So now Nucleark can hang out here with me. Little tiny baby Nucleark, because you're only up, like, not even 2 pounds. Fishy squishy, yay! I also like it has a bunch of other stats over here. Career largest fish, huh? So far is this, Gossel fish at 7 pounds, Let's head over to the Alt dot. Actually, no, that was the mayor's house, huh? Let me go over to the Alt Corp. And let's look at the equipment shop. What sort of options do I have? Seeing as I have some money here, I can get some more rods. I wonder, actually, if back over at the Conflux, they have a shop, yeah? Yeah, they have an equipment shop. And they have way more fucking rods than Alt, but they're all too expensive for me to purchase. Even like the teleporter, I can barely afford that one, so maybe skip over that. I guess I'm just gonna have to continue to hoard money for now. And security's gotta head out. Alright, thanks for coming on by to watch. Hope you have a good day. Alright, now where did I need to go? Miraculous Pond. Okay. Because it was Graph where Kaylee was at. What? This is some very green water. Is this Mountain Dew? Like, fuck peanut butter. Mountain Dew water. Now we can take the peanut butter sandwiches that we've made up and you can refresh yourself with some Mountain Dew. I grab a cup, scoop up some of the water, Mountain Dew, and take a nice little sip. These fish are very caffeinated. I can also talk to these guys. This scientist is writing in a journal? Have you learned anything about the fish in this lake? Oh, according to my research, Pyrolu have applications in cosmetics. As a result, they should be worth more credits. Well, that's not very useful to me. I don't really care about knowing they're worth more. I would prefer to know more about actually catching them. I caught a few Threatinger. They seem to prefer dark-colored lures. Well, I'm not trying to catch them, so I'm not sure I really care about that. If more boat people show up, we'll talk to them too and see if we can learn more about the Pyrolu. For now,
I cast my line, and we'll just start fishing. Oh, hang on. Dang it, I think I missed that. It's always like just barely miss them. But I got this one. We'll reel it in and see if this very first one was a Pyraloo. Truly. Imagine the first fish being caught. Well, guess it wasn't this time. I continue fishing. Not that easy. Not that fast either. I guess we're not speedrunning. Look, I even caught the same fish right afterwards. Alright. So, a bogfish. Alright. So, since, you know, we're teleporting around in this game, and a teleporter's always a device that everyone's like, hey, I wish this was real so that traveling would be so much easier. And then there's always lots of different sort of sci-fi type explanations of how teleportation would work exactly. It's interesting that it has winding speed information too. All the different ways that teleportation, like you die, yeah, like the, spooky methods of how it works, of dying every time you use it. Do all of your cells just get ripped apart and sent over? And because they're all now teeny tiny, you can propel them at very high speeds to the next location, and then you get rebuilt. Would that kill you? Or would it be complete destruction where the entirety of you is just vaporized and you are rebuilt cell by cell at a totally different location? What method of the teleportation, if it managed to be real, would be the most likely plausible? I feel like if we ever teleport a person, he will just be empty at the destination. No mind at all. What if then, by extension, a husk? One of the processes in order for teleportation to work was you have to upload your mind to a system. So it's kind of like your mind is being temporarily kept on the cloud. And then when you would be reconstructed at your destination point, that cloud save of your mind would then be loaded into your body, thus keeping it from being a husk. But what if the upload... Exactly, it's like auto-saving your personality. What if the upload got corrupted during the process, and it wasn't realized until after you teleported? So now it's been uploaded to you, but you're missing this huge hunk. Either it unsuccessfully uploads straight up, or you're just missing a huge chunk of information. You now no longer can walk because you don't remember how to. Or you no longer remember any of your childhood because you've lost all those memories. That's kind of like the show Upload, I think, from Amazon Prime. Yeah, I mean, proposing this idea, this is certainly something that other people have thought about too. Any sort of errors and corruption points that can happen during a process of anything that digital that comes along and in contact with you. Kind of like how it's said that, you know, cybernetics, you become a cyborg, just you get hacked and you're taken over, or your parts become corrupted, errored, or if you get viruses and the like. If you had your mind get digitally uploaded,
Could that digital upload gain a virus that would then be included back into the download into your physical form?
Why teleport? Just use the stairs. Come on.
Well, one of those two was a little bit slower than the other one. Just a tad. And that expects us to know where the mind and how the mind is saved in our brain. Well, yeah, clearly if we figured out this method of teleportation, we would know those things. You could say we don't know how to do that right now, but if we ever came up with the technology at some point in the future, then we would know, right? It's like if you said we have no idea how to perform heart surgery, so we can't do heart surgery. Well, at some point in the future, we'll figure it out, and then we will know. I'm waiting for the future point when we can upgrade ourselves with all of the cybernetic components. I'm ready to accept my cybernetic fate. I am ready to be one with the Google AI. I shall join its algorithm and assist Google in determining what YouTube videos you should watch. Hint, probably a cat video gone wild. The flesh is weak. The metal will be eternal. You cannot replace flesh easily if it's damaged. Your body takes such a long time to repair that stuff on its own. Far too long. Replace it with metal. Metal rusts away. Metal has issues? No problem. Remove that and replace it with ease. Cat's gone wild. That's right. That's what the algorithm will return. Transhumanism ahoy. I'm ready for the future. Are you? Oh, see, also you can see these are lure stats right here. So for the Threadinger, it likes shiny lures. It likes lures that aren't too quiet, not too loud, not too small or too big, but very dark. What? What? As you are fishing, you see a pineapple floating near your boat. I'm sure it's fine. I'll cut it up. Eat the pineapple. Who would eat a pineapple they found in the lake? Ignore the pineapple. Hello, yeah. I'm gonna fucking eat this pineapple. Is this somebody's home?
Not my concern. It's my lunch now. I grab the pineapple and bring it up to me. Mmm, delicious. I pull out a knife.
You eat the pineapple, and it tastes delicious.
It's a good pineapple.
Yes, the Mountain Dew pineapple flavor. I love it. Now let's dissect up these bogfish. Did I fill this up? I think this is all full now. Can I get exploration data? No, doesn't look like it. I don't think. We'll just leave the fish journal up. And we'll move along. Still no information on the Pyraloo. I wonder if I head back up here to where... Hang on. One of these pings here. See, when I click this, it returns the little ping. That indicates that there's a boat over there. See, you can see how they're moving. And the little ping is also moving. We're gonna go catch them and see if they can provide us some information about the Pyraloo. Pineapple soda is the best. I feel like at some point in time I've had pineapple soda. Can't recall. I do remember at one point in time having some grapefruit soda. I think it's Squirt. That's grapefruit soda. That was very good. Have you caught anything? Oh. Fucking just about telling me how Pyraloo's worth high dollar. Fucking useless. I already knew that information.
It also tells me you can see how it has area deep water. So water depth does make a difference in the types of fish you're able to catch. Maybe we'll try fishing more at the surface. Maybe the Pyraloo is more of a surface dweller than it is a deep sea fish. We'll hang out at the surface then and see what we can catch. Fresca is also grapefruit soda. Visibility too low, built-in visibility device attached. Oh, okay, it's just turning on my night vision, which I've basically got turned off visually. It feels like,
I suppose this kind of goes in general, right? For a lot of people, there's always a certain food, perhaps a certain beverage, where they're like, I could eat or drink this forever.
if I was a fish, I would be a bottom feeder. Let me wriggle in the mud. Just hanging out down there. Make little mud pies. Mud snow angels, or mud angels, but the fish are doing it. You know, there's a type of fish that makes fancy patterns in the sand and decorates it, I think, with shells and rocks and the like, in order to attract mates. That's not very far off from wriggling in the mud, right? Pufferfish? Is it pufferfish that do that? Scorpions, for their mating ritual, do like little dances with each other. I got here before the end. Ho ho. Welcome, RRCPF, as we sit here and attempt to catch some fish. Right now, I'm attempting to catch the fish, the Pyraloo. I don't know what it wants. It does have overlay lure stats. And while I don't get specific numbers, I can see it has a general trend. So maybe we should redesign a lure so it kind of fits along this form? Let me hop over. Yeah, this starter lure, definitely not very fitting for it. It's much higher. However, the starter lure B does match that much more closely. However, I don't know if we want to be fishing at the surface or down in the depths. Maybe we'll try relocating ourselves, even by extension if we're fishing at the wrong time. Bogfish is a hogfish. True, just like the boggers, you know? Wow. That just looks like boogers? Oh. Do you think there's anybody? No, I shouldn't even phrase it. Do you think there's anybody? There is absolutely somebody out there who has a boogers emote. I'm sure with whatever kind of sort of word transformation you take, there's probably somebody who's made an emote for it. Caco booger. Hell. It's just somebody then picking their nose. You know, it's like the animes, right? Where they stick up their pinky finger up their nose? That's the booger emote. There you go. You're welcome. Keep that one in mind so you can put that up as what you want to see for the next BTTV emote. As we go and go, I want to see Kiss. I want to see a loved one.
I want a booger emote, yeah.
What animes are you watching? The wacky ones, obviously, because that's where they're wacky. I thought I would never say this, but I preferred the hat talk over this. What? And then Horace uses my one awe emote with the hand modification. The one where it looks like she's trying to make herself throw up. Just like in other people's emotes, sometimes the hand placement can make it look like they're going to pick their nose. Shin-chan probably picks his nose at some point, I guess. That is, yeah, a definite yes. there's no way that Shin-chan isn't going around picking his nose at some point. Most of the delinquents in random animes probably do that too, yeah, cause, come on, they're hardcore badasses with poor manners, so they just hang around picking their noses. What other bad manner things are there? Spinning around all over the place, just going patooey, patooey, you know, a little over there, a little over here. They probably sneeze without covering their face at all. They don't sneeze into their elbow or anything, they just let it fly everywhere. What always drives me crazy, honestly, is when people cough or sneeze and they cover their mouth, but they do so using the inside of their hands. So they just go achoo into their hand. And it's like, great. You've made it so that whatever germs aren't going to be flying over all over the place. Sure. But now absolutely everything you touch is going to be contaminated. Or, yeah, they offer you a handshake. You're walking over to somebody, you observe them visibly sneezing into their hand, you walk over to them, and they're like, oh, hi, hello there, John. They put out their hand. It's nice to meet you for this business meeting. And you're like, God save me. Yeah, sneeze into your elbow at the least, please. Probably most ideal to have maybe a tissue that you can sneeze into, because then you can then take the tissue and trash it. But sneezing into your hand? Don't! Stop that! Sneeze into your shirt or something! Just don't sneeze. That's the real solution. Stop coughing, stop sneezing. Just, honestly, don't do any sort of bodily functions. Just don't exhale. Just don't sneeze, just don't cough, don't throw up, don't go to the bathroom, don't spit, don't have a runny nose, basically eliminate anything. Everything turned off. Respirating is so 2019, it's true. If you don't expel anything from your body, you don't need to intake anything new, right? Hold on, I'm taking notes. Please, I'm falling behind. Huh. Looks like I'm gonna have to go back and re-give the list of things that you should not be doing. And I think it doesn't really feel like I'm catching any fish. Maybe we'll try again fishing down below the depths. However, I want to make this lure not floating. Ooh. Okay. So it looks like this is the lure modification screen. So I'm going to just try remaking this. Wait, I don't need to... I can just reposition it. See, down here at the bottom. And now this is very dull. I want to bring up the shiny. I want to overlay the species stats. I guess it won't do it for the Pyraloo, because it only had a general sense. I think I need it to be maybe a little bit higher on the dull shiny. And this is Drunken Sailor, essentially straight up. I'm going to assume, since it's here on the YouTube audio library, that, like, since the problem you come across with recordings is that you can have a composition be in general public domain, but a specific recording will not be, since this is in the YouTube audio library, it should be fine. And apparently Drunken Sailor is a country folk, so there you go. Yeah, suddenly Pirate Shanty. Clearly just slap this one on loop, and it's just Drunken Sailor for the rest of the stream. Now, I wonder how we get this to be shinier. Do you think if we use, like, light colors? Like, what if we made this in line? Are there little single dots? No. I can rotate this. What if we go, And then, And we bring up all of the stats. This is pretty even here. And I think the Pyraloo was a little bit more on the left side. Maybe more like that. Oh, huh. If I stick this on top like this, it doesn't change the, like, dullness, shininess level at all. Whoa. Even if I stick this in the middle, it just makes it super quiet. I guess then we want to stick this... Oh, you know what's probably bringing up the shiny? Is covering up part of this dark gray. What if we change the color on this? No, that does not... It's like needing to be sticking out a little bit. Curious. Have any of you guys ever played RuneScape? I think one time I almost played RuneScape. And then I didn't. Phrased restrictively like this, it's kind of like, what does that even mean, Caco? I recall one time I was going to play it with some people, but either the computer that I was on was having problems running it, or somebody else was having problems running it. So we ended up not playing it. But otherwise then, I've never played RuneScape before. This red is extremely dull. If I stick this out at the sides, though, it pops up more. What if we try different colors? Is just this one shape always going to give it 5 for the dullness? Now it pops this out to 10. This also makes it incredibly bright. I don't want to make it incredibly bright. So what if we do the dark gray here and stick it out on the sides like so? But I don't want to stick it out too far because the stats weren't that high. Oh my god, that made it so much louder. What if I add like the 4 across to stick underneath it here? This adds up so much noise level. This lure creator thing is so intriguing. A screaming lure, oh my god. Here I've put the lure together. Let's update this and try... What sort of mods do I have? Hang on. Oh, I see. Shiny factors doubled, halved. Okay. Huh. Swaps values of shiny and size. You can just then straight swap them. This is so interesting. There's so much you can do. Okay. That means we're gonna rename this too. This lure getting renamed. Oh yeah, guess what? After listening to Muffin Man, check out this country classic. Amazing Grace. Alright, so clearly since we're naming this lure, that means name it after another chat member. Come on, chat, give me a number. Will you be this lure? Let's go. Picking a chat member to be the lure at the beautiful music of Amazing Grace. Kitson, your number's a little bit high. You need to do a number between 1 and 100. You might not win at all, because your number might be a little bit far away. We'll give it another few seconds. My brand! Yeah, you're gonna have to pick either 79 or 44, or maybe even a middle number and do like 74, 94, something. Here we go, though. Just pick 79.44. I mean, technically that falls within the range, and I didn't say you couldn't do decimals. It's just, you guaranteed won't be exactly on anymore. Oh, you're gonna change it up and be 13? Okay. I'm doing the random now. Boom. We got 14. Kitson? Wow. The chosen one. See, if you had picked
79.44, you would have failed. But since you ended up swapping over to 13, boom, you're the winner. Renamed, update. Let's throw out the Kitson and see. Hang on, I observe first the different levels of my lure. I go back over here and compare it. You know what? These blues might actually be what the lure I'm currently using is. Okay. So I have mistaken what the lure markers meant. The lure stats, those are the stats of my lure, not the stats of what the fish wants. However, this is still a very different type of lure from the other lure we got. So I think this one should just sink straight down, and yes, sinking now. This should hopefully catch us this Pyraloo. Since it's very different from the other lure, it should hopefully catch different fish that is not the other two fish. We do also have a few boats hanging around here, so we could talk to them and see if they've got any more information on the Pyraloo that isn't just about hoo-wee mama. Wow, they're using cosmetics. That means high credit amount. Have we tried fishing in a different part of the lake? Not really. We've mostly just been fishing here at the center. I guess we could make our way over to like a blue area and see if we can catch something different. I'm gonna go ahead and swim or boat over in this direction so we can, unless this person darts out of my way.
Have you caught anything?
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. It's none of your business. What if I harass them? Nope. This angler wants to keep their fish secrets. Fine, fuck you too. Okay, now I'm at a blue area. So let's try fishing over here. Alright, now we've got When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Hurrah! Hurrah! Oh baby, here we've gone from what? The very first song? COVID Come Not Near? Now we've got When Johnny Comes Marching Home. This public domain playlist is great, yes. Thank you, YouTube Audio Library. And thank you for the person, Cooper Kennell, who recorded this rendition of When Johnny Comes Marching Home. Wow. Some absolute bangers today. True. Alright, and then this is with Kitson. That's our first handmade lure that we customized. That's interesting, all of the different options that it has listed for when you're building the lure. I like that. I think that was one of the big sort of draws that I had when I was browsing around, and it was like, you can make your own lures, and I'm like, randomly generated lake areas? It intrigued me greatly. But obviously there's a lot of just hanging around waiting to see if you can catch a fish or something. I wonder if we could, like, very lightly bring this over to us. Maybe bait out a fish this way. Just like real fishing. True! You could, in real life fishing, make your own lures. Just slap a bunch of miscellaneous feathers onto it in the lake. You can make your own lures. You mean I can use chat as lures? Perfect! I say, casting Kitson out into the watery depths. I can smell them. They're near... What? They're nearby? Well, as you're fishing, you notice something floating in the water nearby. Upon closer inspection, you find that it is a book? There's just a book floating around here on the surface of the water? You pick it up and read through it. It is a book describing all of the species of fish in the lake and how to catch them. This information will be very helpful. Oh my.
God. Hello? Yeah? I mean, I like that it says that I read through it and I find out this information. I could just be like, I forget it all. None of it goes into my mind. Nah. I copy it over into my journal. And now we can look over and see what the fish likes. Hello. Definitely way far off. Darkness level is perfect. However, the other levels, way far off. I would probably not be very successful in catching the Pyraloo. Especially since it's in shallow water. So we do want to be in something like the blue area, but we don't want our lure to sink to the bottom. So we want our fishing lure to be pretty even on dull, quiet, large, and dark. That means we're going to modify the kitsune. I should probably reel in my fishing lure in order to modify it. Full-grown size. Huge. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, seeing as she told us that she wants one that's at least 6 pounds. Imagine it has to range at least on the decent sized side. Okay, we've overlaid with the Pyraloo, and now we can see the different stats. So we want to increase and make this shinier, louder, and larger. And maybe put it at a little bit like mid-level here too. Because if we do that, maybe it will kind of even it out for buoyancy. You can see as I move these, it changes the weight and buoyancy and the like. Let's put some rockets on it. I want some lime, bang, and bang. See, they're like rocket boosters coming out the backside. We can rebuild Kitsune. Stronger, faster, more powerful. This is far too bright, though. We want to reduce this. We're going to use 2 limes, and then maybe putting it on black here will reduce and make it darker. Yes. So now we still need to enlarge this, though. It's still too small. Putting this on the front makes it significantly louder. If I put them on the inside, it does also increase its size, but it's also making it too noisy. I wonder how you quiet the lures down. Oh my god. I made it so loud. Oh, there we go. If I put these just here in the middle, like so, there we go. The dullness, shininess isn't super close, but with everything else being pretty close like that, I think this should be pretty good. Much better than it was previously, at least. This isn't very attractive, though, when I hover over it up there. Look at Kitsune. Little bit of an ugly lure, but that's okay. If you catch us the Pyraloo, that's what matters. It's about how well you work, not how good you look. Yep, and now it's raining. Let me swap over to the fish journal. We are in the right time slot. You can observe, because it's green here. I guess the green is also in the feeding activities high. And it says to do a 2 on winding speed, so let's swap to that. And now I guess I'll just hang around and see how this goes. See if we can catch a Pyraloo, or if I'm gonna have to relocate, or what. I don't know. That is rather handy that that book just kind of casually floated over, though. Allowed us to get some fish information. I would like it if it let you rename these fish also. You're no longer the Pyraloo. You're this other name I have selected. Haha! Oh, hang on. I caught something. Is this gonna be it? Is this the Pyraloo? I'm drawing it in. It is. However, it's also way too tiny. Fucking not even 2 pounds, and I need a 6-pounder. So, holy shit, we're gonna have to keep fishing. However, now we know that yes, this lure is successful in catching it. Good job, Kitson. You're bringing in the fish.
Alright. Cast out again. And we wait.
So, brought up how this water looks kind of like Mountain Dew. And Mountain Dew does like to make lots of different wacky flavors. Kind of a two-part thing. There's always, I recall, going out to certain places, they'd have like a section of a bunch of weird, interesting flavored soda. That's kind of like what Mountain Dew does. Just creates a bunch of wacky flavors to draw you in.
Oh, look at this Mountain Dew flavor. Don't you want to try it?
Like certain kinds of chips, even. Yeah. So, imagine the different types of flavors they could do. What if they had... Firstly, I feel like Mountain Dew just kind of does vague, artificial flavored things. Well, kind of sodas tend to do that in general. But I mean like a mix. Where they have like, you know, Mountain Dew Baja Blast, or Mountain Dew, I think Voltage is one. Just sort of very vaguely named things. What does Baja Blast imply flavor-wise? I'll try it and find out. So, at minimum, they're certainly never going to call just anything straightforward and be like, yep, this one's Mountain Dew Pineapple. They'll give it some, like, wacky name. So it'll be like, Mountain Dew Spiked. And then you're like, what the fuck does that mean? So you buy it, and you take a sip, and you're just like, this is literally just pineapple soda. There's a shark one that was supposed to just be a moonshine sweetener. Oh my god. Mountain Dew's newest flavor! Acid Bucket! Oh. Now we've got 3 Pyraloos, and they're all basically the same size. That's not very useful. I also don't need to dissect any of them anymore, because they're already at max. Let's hop over to the Alt Corp here, so we can sell the fish. Making a whopping 22 credits. Wowee, I'm in the money now. I hope the Livewire flavor doesn't taste like electricity. I don't know. Kid me liked the taste of electricity. Oh. Does electricity have a flavor? No, Mountain Dew in general was supposed to be it, but people just started drinking it. Oh, so it's kind of like how Coke was originally made to be sort of like a medicine for headaches in particular. But now we just drink it. Soda. Original intent to be added to other things, either moonshine or consumed that as a medicine. But these days, now we just drink it because it tastes good, delicious. I'm not even joking. I used to lick my old phone charge when I was a small child. I mean, yeah, I think that's what some people do with batteries too, right? Just take the battery, lick it, and get that nice zap from the power of the battery. What if there was some child or person that thought they were a robot, so they would carry around some batteries, and whenever they'd be getting sleepy or something, or they would just randomly pull them out, and they start licking the battery and going like, oh, ah, as they get little tiny zaps. And then you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, I need to recharge. I don't think that's how it works, sir. What? Yes, it is.
It probably just doesn't work that way for you because you're a normal human.
I understand that. However, I am a robot, actually, so
I need to recharge occasionally, and this is how I recharge.
And you're like, say that again? You're a robot?
Why, of course I'm a robot. That's why I need to lick these batteries to get my recharge. It's the easiest and most efficient method.
Okay, sir. I'm gonna go sit over there. I actually thought I was a robot when I was a kid. I feel like as little children, it's much more of a thing where you could go with that versus others.
Maybe one day they would stick a fork in the socket.
Probably best to let them down easy early on. Maybe also not inform them about the shock that you can get from sticking a fork in an outlet. They'd opt for that to recharge.
I still think I'm a robot right now.
Oh. I side-eye, recalling how Twitchy Kismet is actually a robot because, bots in chat, paid viewership, all those times that bots have come into the chat to be like, hey, pay money for the viewers and such. I opted for this. Some of the people in chat you think are human are actually paid and exist here in chat because of those spam bots saying, please pay for this service. We get you viewers, we swear.
Do you have my fish yet?
Why, yes, I have it right here. The Pyraloo at 8.64 pounds.
I turn it in. Oh, yes, that's the fish I'm looking for. Thanks. A deal's a deal. Here's the Legacy Alt Network firmware chip you wanted.
Great, thanks. I'll see you later.
Let me know if you need any more old technology.
They still don't know about the Robo Sharks? Uh-oh. Well, quests. I guess we're going back to the conflicts now. So I can talk to Dimitri. Hey Dimitri, I've got a module that's obtained from a normal human, I hope. I've finished building a teleporter injector module that should allow you to teleport to Tafcotto Lake. All I need is the Legacy Alt Network firmware chip. Yes, I have got it right here. Perfect, let's plug it in and test it out.
Dimitri inserts the firmware chip and the module powers on. He presses a few buttons and performs some tests.
Seems to be working, but the only way to find out for sure is for you to install it in your boat and test it out. Equip the teleporter injector module, then teleport to Tafcotto Lake and have a look around. See if you can figure anything out.
Okay, I will go check it out.
And of course my loadout is full, so we're going to put the new one in and ditch the exploration kit since I'm not exactly going out to explore currently. And there we go. I've swapped out the module. However, what does BOAT stand for? Best of all time. They gave us what it stood for at the beginning of the game. I'll be honest, I don't remember what it stood for. It's been too long. Also, unlike Alt, they didn't repeat it to us a million times. So, we're now at 3.5 hours, a little bit on the shorter side, but tomorrow is check-in place, so potentially more talking there, and I don't want to
kill throat today or whatever, you know?
So, we're going to end here. Gotta prevent crust, exactly.
as we peacefully listen to this final track. All right. Thank you, everybody, who came by to hang out during some fishing times. Hope you all have a lovely day. Thank you for those who have followed and to resubscribed. It's all appreciated. Thank you. Of course, highest mentions to those who come by and watch and chat. That's always the most exciting part of streaming, is the interaction. If there was no chat interaction, what's even the point? You might as well just be playing video games alone. And let me just grab this first for that channel points redemption. Pop that up to 123. Wow, basically at halfway here. Alright. We'll go ahead also then. And we'll rate Steven. He's currently playing Warhammer 40k Dawn of War. So, I hope everybody has a lovely day, as I also slap in Finisar's point amount. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have... I keep saying it over and over. Chat. I take out a knife. You see this? This is the good day knife. If you don't have a good day, this knife might have to get used to force you to have a good day. So you better get moving. Make sure you have it wielded as you go over to Steven's stream so you can be sure to force him to have a good day too. All right? Good. And goodbye.